Wow, what a Game 1 statement coming out from FlyQuest Challengers as...
A little bit.
Yeah, gentlemen, that was not particularly close. Evil Geniuses didn't even get a single kill to start. You wanted to see them get excited. They didn't get one. They got one at the end. Okay, that doesn't count. Yeah, okay, man.
You give them one.
No, it really doesn't. When you're that far ahead, you got Baron, you're ending the game. Me personally, I'm getting crazy with it. Yeah, I might overextend and die. We already won. It's okay. It doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
I know Dimitri's seen me do that more than once.
Oh, trust me, you
He'll
did
be like,
that before
bro,
the game
beat
even
that. What are you
ends.
doing? Hey, come on, bro.
Hey, chill. I'm having fun, all right?
Relax.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, it's a happy death.
Yeah, exactly.
When we saw this game, I mean, this was just crazy. We can even take a look at our post-game breakdown here. This was nuts. 25 minutes. The game ended around 15 for me. Watching this in the background, you see Masu's damage, but
yeah.
Wow, what an insane game from our jungler here in UG.
Yeah.
As soon as we... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Masu's damage is impressive, but given the team comp, given the lead, like, this is what you're supposed to do. We highlighted Yuji because, dude, he ran the early game, and we set him up to do so. He definitely delivered on the Kindred.
As soon as I saw him get those 3 marks early, I was like, well...
Yeah, getting the
little bit rough
like that...
and especially when he was able to get kind of the double scuttles marks back to back. And the fact that we just didn't see any early moves from Evil Geniuses, it just means that you have that upper hand on the side of FlyQuest.
Yeah, that was pretty insane. But we only got a couple of minutes before we get back into the second game here of our best of 2. So we want to take a look at our halftime show. Going to be taking a bit of an inspiration from some of our Twitch chatters here coming in who have been very, very active going on into today. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got some chat translator. I am going to be impersonating some of our players from that game, and hopefully one of our 2 casters will be able to give me the real deal. Get away from the PR answers that we would see in these interviews. We're going to be getting nice and maybe not super toxic. We don't want to break the summoner's code, but hopefully a little inflammatory for our boys.
I just want to say that anything we say is not actually what the players
We are imitating chat. We do not. Players wouldn't say this.
We need to have that
I'm
South Park thing go across the bottom. It's all references. Don't worry about it.
The name is on the bottom. Chat translator.
Okay. First up, I've got King. I'm gonna make sure that I got so it's perfectly squared up here. So hey guys. King here. We had Jinx in that first game, and we thought, hey, we had the Melio, we had a really good strong bot lane. I was going even, I got all of my farm, but unfortunately I pressed tab, and we were kind of it was really hard to punch through that front line. It's kind of sucks for us, but we're looking forward to game 2. I think we had a better performance. Beatdown, give us the real deal.
All right, my chat impersonation.
Here we go.
Listen, guys, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm not trying to exaggerate or nothing. King sucks. Blaming his teammates. That's ridiculous. He's the 80 carry. It is his job solely to be able to pick up kills. He is the only character and agency in this current meta. I'm all about Masu. Okay, it's over. I don't think that.
I think there was a bit of misunderstanding.
I think we're here. I got you.
All right, okay.
This is what King's saying. Nah, man, that bot lane 2v2, that wasn't my fault. We had that 2v2. Masu, when you get Yumi, sometimes that just happens. I'll be better next time. Don't worry. We're gonna clown these fools. That's what he was saying.
Wait, it's not. Is this not Twitch chat?
Have you never seen the skin?
You can beat. You're impersonating the player here. We're making sure that
what they would be really saying.
Look, there's the legendary moment. When we were looking at MNS, it's like, why lose? Well, that's what I want. I want you to embody that.
Okay, take it back. Let me go again.
We'll get to the next one.
I mean the next one.
All right, gentlemen. Let's try to get into this. So next up, let's try to get. Who can I get? Okay, we can grab Spyrex for this.
Oh wait, hey you don't have. You have shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi guys, Spyrex here. We had a pretty good game. I was playing Gragas for most of it, setting up for my jungler, and hopefully next time I get to play some really fun champions. But hey, we got the dub. I'll take the win. Trying to level up before the playoffs. Still only week 2. All right, Beatdown. Come on. All right, give it to us.
I hate playing Gragas. This champ is so broken. I hate it. Why can't I play fun champs like Yasuo or Azir? But it's so broken. My opponent is so free. I guess they're just going to let us have it, and we got to run them down with it. Fine.
I like it. I'm here for it.
You got some banner. That's what I like to hear. Okay, a little bit better this time. At least we are. There you go. We are getting more into the spirit of this bit, which I am totally okay with. Definitely looking better. Okay, next up, let's get back onto the EGC side. We got to look at the man, the myth, the legend here. Got to be looking at Shaden.
Oh no. Oh no.
I don't know.
It's all you, Lennon.
You gotta give me the pro. What was he saying?
I don't know, man. I was playing Kha'Zix. They had way too many tanks. The draft, maybe a little cringe, but you know, this Kha'Zix was not a lot of fun. Every time I tried to go in, I was trying to get those dragons, and they just kept doing everything. They took all my camps. My mid laner was getting bodied by Kindred. Like, what do I do?
Nah, man, did you see those 2 Kindred marks spawn on the top scuttle? Like, that's just not even fair. Like, I'm playing Kha'Zix, I need to get ahead, and he just gets the perfect spawns. No, that's just not fair. I got him next time. I'm going to go 11-0. Don't worry about it.
Hey, man, if he's able to drop one, if he's able to drop an insane game like we saw in spring, I think that'll right a lot of the wrongs that we saw coming out from this team.
Scuttles, though.
Yeah, let's take one more before we get back into game 2 here. I think moving back onto the other side. Oh, man, wait a minute. Okay, here we go. This is for everybody because I know you guys are big fans. Got Masu.
Let's go.
Wizard. Hey, I played Aphelios. We got Yuumi. The casters on the stream were saying that we needed to improve our draft, so I think we did just that. We got Aphelios Yuumi. Perfectly fine job. You saw my damage numbers. I was doing pretty good. One thing I will say, I've been playing on LAN for a couple months now, guys. Can I stop being the Wi-Fi wizard now? Please?
No.
All right, Beat.
Sorry.
Come on.
It's like, first off, I am the GOAT. In every game that I play, these people need to start putting respect on my name. I'm not on Wi-Fi no more. When are they going to understand? These fraudulent casters do not pay attention to the team situation that's going on here, and it's about time I get my due.
Why are you flaming the casters, bro?
It's just the play.
It's those silly casters. It's the caster narratives. Come on, man.
Casters start the game. You know how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, currently, before Challengers League, they had some power outages because of leaks, so the casters could not actually start the game, unfortunately.
No, but it was still their fault.
Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you, that was how we feeling about that. Chat translator, I think, went well once we got over the hump.
Once I understood the assignment, yes.
Once we got through the first prompt.
Yeah, okay. Glad to see it.
I'm
Gentlemen,
still glad we got to hear from King's actual side, though.
Yeah, exactly. We got to see a little bit of each of the players there. Yeah, if they ever watch this back,
dude, I'm gonna get some DMs, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hopefully that they're all nice. Look, we had to DM the players anyway. I'm sure that they're okay with us using their likeness. We've known them for a pretty long time, most of them here, and hopefully you're able to do them justice. Thank you for everybody for participating into our chat translator there. But, gentlemen, we've got Game 2 on the horizon here, and I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit iffy when we're looking at what we saw from Game 1. We're like,
Can I just say?
Give it to us.
FlyQuest do this a lot.
Okay.
There's one game where they just stomp, just beat down a team. No pun intended. And then there's a game where it doesn't always go as planned. EG are kind of the same. So I would not be surprised at all if things went the other way in the next game. EG, they learned what they should kind of, how they should draft going into the next game.
Wait a minute.
A different kind of strategy.
Dude,
what are you thinking?
I didn't know that I brought Ido onto the show. I didn't have his picture prepped up there. What are you doing?
I owe him for the King thing, okay? Let me go.
I'm just saying, we heard exactly from Shaden's mouth that he was going to go 11-0 tonight. So
that's true.
There you go. Well, gentlemen, we're getting ready for the draft. It looks like it is going to be up and available. Will FlyQuest Challengers be able to bring a 2-0 here in the series, or EG going to bring it back? We'll see them in the interview at the end of the day. Take it away.
Alrighty, we'll go ahead and get into draft for game number 2 here. It is FlyQuest on the blue side, EG on the red side. So some swap ups in that term, but especially now looking at what the ban priority becomes, we already get the Vi banned away from Shaden. There's that Lucian yet again targeting Masu.
So far, yeah, there it is. So now they're going to be banning away the Kindred, or this time make sure Shaden isn't going to be able to get that one there. What I'm looking for EG on the red side here is that you're going to play something like the Kha'Zix again. They may need lanes with a little more pressure. I mean, top side was a dead zone for Evil Geniuses. Mid was going okay, but Ryoma started to kind of falter towards the end, though. And as we kind of get towards the end of that first rotation, what are the OP picks up and available? Let's just get right to it. I noticed Nico is still
Are we gonna get the handshake again? Are we gonna look to ban out some more of these junglers? Again, we got a lot of junglers banned away in the second phase, but that definitely rises in priority here for Evil Geniuses. I expect them to try to get something that Shaden wants to play that also can be very strong and not necessarily a sink or swim champion like the Kazakhs. We do get that ban of the Blitzcrank, though, in the final ban of the first phase of FlyQuest, and the Melio gets banned away, so maybe trying to bait out that Yuumi pick or try and pick one of these big meta champions because Nico is still on the table, too.
Right, because usually it kind of sucks to ban Melio and have Yuumi taken, but Nico is available, Aphelios is still up, so King can be able to get that one for himself. We saw Masu do some serious damage in that last game, so I'm kind of expecting it to go that route, but even then, Smoothie really just wants the bot lane. Okay,
really?
Nico's just up, alright.
Nico's just up?
Yeah, maybe FlyQuest are just gonna take that, surely.
But, baby, you know they have a plan in the second phase. Yeah. Maybe there's something working, because right now, that Yugi just pulled 3 cards of Exodia out of his deck on turn 1. I don't know what you do
it
here.
Feels like that guy who cheated with marked cards in Battle City in that second season, and he just has Exodia all the time. But this is a good start for FlyQuest. I mean, really, you just need a. Did they somehow get Cassante? I don't know what else to say.
It's literally just every single thing that you could ever be fearful of in the meta right now. Just give it over to FlyQuest. I actually appreciate, though, Ryoma bringing out the Syndra. It is a classic for him, but it's also just something with very strong single target access. And that Scout of the Week to really set a spacing. So right now, you definitely see EG are going for kind of an all-in comp for themselves and a little bit of scaling as well. We'll get into the second phase of bans, though, and we see a lot of the similar bans we saw in game number 1. It's the Viego for Fly. It is also the Wukong and the Olaf there for EG.
It could also be that Evil Geniuses, this is very similar to their comp from I believe it was 2 days ago, where they brought out the Nocturne for Shaden. They ran the Nocturne Syndra. It was actually a pretty good mid-jungle duo earlier on, and I'm thinking you're okay with letting the Nico go for that reason. If you all in and the Pop Blossom comes through, you do have that spell shield to play for, and it will set Shaden up to be able to go for a bit of a monster carry game.
I like that Poppy ban, though, from Fly. Just give away some of those options. A lot of the spacing tools that you could have is so scary. Something else that we've seen Shaden take in his past, a plethora of carry champions, but this is a tried and true one that he dominated in spring with. It's the Graves for EG.
So that's an interesting one. You have a lane. I mean, already mid lane is a little tough for you, I'm being honest. So we could see something aggressive for the side of UG. He will have that opportunity, almost certainly, to invade, well, Shaden on his side of the map, on his side of the jungle. I think that's why we're seeing the J4 hover. J4 would actually go turbo crazy here. And, come on, UG.
Anything to connect with Spyrax in mid lane right now. That's all I'm looking for, because if you get this Nico ahead, she will run rampant. And if you want to go with something that you can get UG off the board with, because you still have the insane combo of the Zarya Yuumi late game, so you have that insurance policy. So you can go with something a little bit more risky, and they do. It's the Kazakhs. So UG wanted to show Shaden what it's worth.
Yeah, and now UG, I mean, of course, has been playing it these last couple of weeks as well, and now he's saw Shaden play it in game 1, is going to take a spin for it here today himself. That's interesting. He's going to have some lanes that are going to be able to get him that bit of push. You're not going to be looking for 1v1s against the Graves, because his ability to stack grit will be a little difficult and hard for you to 1v1.
Let's go!
Wow! Soul is going for...
Oh my god.
He's going for the spicy pick on the top side there with the Yone. They're just full committing to this kind of glass cannon style composition here, where you have a lot of team fight, you have a lot of power, and if you all in Masu, I mean, your chances look pretty good in these team fights.
You're not wrong. And this time getting a shade of the double marksman composition from EG here, but they add the special sauce of just having a ton of damage. I'm a little worried about their tankiness. Smoothie's gonna have to be a giant mountain for them.
Maybe Aftershock this game, you know?
Yeah, maybe Aftershock, you know, something like that. But it will be a team, I feel like, for EG. they have to get rolling. And I think that was the case in game number 1, but maybe even more so the case now this time.
Right, and early on, like, you want to farm a little bit as Graves. Syndra also trying to build up the Syndra bucks, if you will, to get those ability upgrades, very much like Victor. Means that in the early game, not the most amount of pressure topside, you can definitely scrap it out, which is what I'm expecting Soul to do.
Yeah, pathing top lane is the expectation right now for Shaden. We get on to the Rift now for FlyQuest Challengers versus Evil Geniuses Challengers, game number 2. Get a zoom in on the cute Yumi. I do want to shout out that this will be the 8th competitive game of Graves for Shaden. He has 7 already, and he has a 100% win rate. So not too shabby with this pick, something he's been able to really find a lot of success on and find a lot of those monster KDAs that we were kind of mentioning earlier on in the day for it. This is a game where I don't expect Evil Geniuses to go quietly into the night. They might have yesterday, but I don't expect it to be a trend.
Yeah, maybe you could argue game 2 was them kind of kicking and screaming towards the end, but hopefully this time around things are going to look a little different. We're already getting a bit of insight into NACL, one of the greatest champions on the patch. Lennon, I hate this thing. I hate
Howdy
it so
there. I'm just saying, you should subscribe to both our channels. Hashtag Pat the LCS, get involved on our Twitter, but make sure that you're subscribing to /Pat the LCS. It's /LCS_Challengers, because then you get those cool emotes. All right, bye guys. I'm heading out of here. All right, I don't know why the on the range guy just came in my room.
I mean, that's
started,
the Pokemon. I understand.
He must have just seen it and was like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
But as you do, please make sure you're subscribing to our players and that you support them, because 50% of the revenue goes to the players and teams. So wouldn't be able to be here without you guys, but as well as these players.
That's right. Again, 50% of the revenue gained from subs goes to the Challengers League teams and players. Supporting the stream supports them, and wow, Shaden.
That ain't gonna go your way. He just not able to get the angle from Smoothie there. I love the attempt though. The level 1 attempted from Shaden with a lot of vision on the side of FlyQuest jungle. So nice little move.
I want to see what he's going to be able to do with it though. I always maintain that stealing away camps at level 1, especially like he didn't even get the full Krugs camp, it doesn't really matter. In my opinion, unless you're continuously using that lead to keep stealing away camps, you ignore your camps a little bit. So we're going to see if Shaden is able to even get that done once he clears his own side of the map. Overall, we look across the rest of the board, Spyrax is going to be able to have that mid pressure there for Yuji, something Shaden was missing in that first game in those early minutes when he was playing the Kha'Zix. It is going to open him up to get into Shaden's face a little bit more once we see that serrated dirt come through.
Also, I was actually, they both start with S's. When I was talking about Shaden's statistics earlier, it was Soul that I had. He has 100% weight on Graves, so maybe he's talking to Shaden. Shaden's is unfortunately like 40% with 5 games played. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Game 2, it's the resurgence from Evil Geniuses, and I especially, again, the way that we've seen things go. First 20 minutes, it's all eyes on both junglers, especially this time Yuji on the Kha'Zix. But it's still usually, for these two teams, comes down to Masu and King being the ones that come online.
Right, and this is going to still be the case in this game, but as we get later on into the game. Right now, it's going to be about these junglers, it's going to be about these mid laners. I'm expecting the Rift Herald to be another big point of contention in these early minutes. I like EG's chances and their ability to get it, even if Spyrax is playing the abomination that is this current Nico. But Shaden is taking advantage of a pretty big timer. This could be huge.
They just really want to focus down this bottom lane and put down the Zera Yumi combo before they get too big and strong. Now Winsome's going to try to block out. They're going to get the TP in from Spyrax. Is it going to be enough? Nice! The dredge line got blocked by the tower there, but Natsu finally goes down. First blood to Ryoma. It's traded one back though, and Spyrax gets on the board for FlyQuest. He's flashing for it. Dredge line goes wide yet again, but Ryoma, he might be looking for a little bit more damage. Winsome does have a decent amount of healing for Spyrax. The connection, the bubbles. And now it's not enough. One more auto attack. They can't get it. Ryoma, though, gets slumped by the Prowling projectile, and Winsome cleans him up.
Wow, props to EG for going for it. I just noticed Masu went Ghost Cleanse, meaning that they wanted to take advantage of that vulnerability, but the teleport and the fact that Masu and Winsome lived for so long means that it ends up being a 2-for-1. And we gotta watch this one again. Most of this is Masu and Winsome doing a pretty good job at keeping themselves alive. The exhaust on the King was so crucial here since he was the one doing a lot of that damage. And once that comes out, you see the healing coming through from Winsome continuously autoing. Look at all these health bars. It cost EG so much in health to be able to secure that. And even though Shaden walks away, it ends up being Ryoma who honestly shouldn't have gone for this.
He was very confident he had the damage with the follow-up Smoothie, but man, as soon as those Tangle Barbs come up, it is just so difficult. I love that Winsome comes out just to make sure. Oh, back in alive, and it's looking like that replay here beat Ryoma very low.
Well, Syndra's that kind of champion. No flash. She's very low mobility. So it means that the Nico can set up ganks very easily for Yuji, and that just continues to pile on the pressure mid lane. It's going to allow Spyrax to be the one to move across the map like Ryoma did when that whole bottom play started. And it means that this time, FlyQuest should be the ones to be able to get this early dragon priority. Shaden, despite the early invade, is now down a level because he was forced to back, and Yuji, he wasn't part of all that exchange. He's like, oh, my team's doing great. I'm just going to keep farming.
I'm just going to keep on trucking. As he sees a Dark Harvest Graves across the street from him, he's saying, I'm perfectly fine with this. He will actually look for this early move, hovering over bot side, maybe going for this dragon because of that isolation damage. And there's just no real response right now from EG. We do see Shaden pathing to the top side of the map here, though.
Right, he's going to have to go ahead and go for his respawn camps. And with this first dragon gone, we're about a minute away from the Rift Herald. And that's what I was alluding to earlier, the fact that Evil Geniuses have a pretty good shot now that we're getting level 6s across the board. The only problem is Shaden just hit level 5, and unless you see him pinging for the invade, he needs those camps. If he can deny Yuji's level 6, not even have to get to level 6 himself, he can keep the odds even for this Rift Herald fight. That's why you're seeing him go. He needs to take as much as he can to make sure this Kha'Zix doesn't get access to his ult.
It's a scaling shotgun versus a very rambunctious bug. And right now, we'll see how that matchup works out later on. But, you know, highlighting both these guys, we talked a lot about Yuji in game number 1 and kind of his history. But I think Shaden has been also a very interesting case in our developmental league, and especially from last split, where we were seeing him kind of still trying to develop, still trying to find his way. But also the splits before when you see him make a splash into the scene.
That's right. Shaden. Sorry, I see Smoothie. He's on the move here, but he's spotted out by Yuji. It looks like that early rotation for the Rift Herald. But Yuji and the rest of FlyQuest, they're gonna let it go. Look at this. We have level 6 on the Nico. King does have flash. He can't be here.
Oh, they split. Smoothie goes right back in, trying to lock him down under tower, but it does not matter. Another kill goes to FlyQuest and more plates to Masu.
Right, and that's immediately equal value to the 2 plates that Rift Herald wouldn't have gotten you. Of course, you're going to be able to get a plate mid for Ryoma. You are going to get that gold upon finishing the Rift Herald, but you're denying a good bit of gold and XP from this Aphelios, who's trying to scale, who's trying to get to that late game and carry like Masu did on it in that last game.
He indeed did carry on that. And there goes those 2 plates over to Masu. Speaking of him, that Rift Herald finally going down. Should be utilized in either this mid lane or bot lane here for Shaden. I guess you do have a Yone in top lane, which I'm so still interested in. We haven't seen much action up here, but this pick does have the potential to really pop off, especially in team fights. And
yes,
I'm wondering, do they want to give any resources up here, or are they just specifically focusing on King and Ryoma?
You do have the Rift. I would like to see the Rift Herald dropped on this top side because Soul, especially with Masu not bringing Flash into this game, right? There's a good chance that Yone can get on top of the Zeri, be able to get the CC off, facilitate the rest of the damage for the team, or, you know, give us an 80 carry moment and have Soul 100-0 Masu by himself, as it happens from time to time with melee champions. So either way, investment into Soul these next couple of minutes, something I do want to see, even though Shaden's pathing away.
Spyrax playing a little game, catches the Pop Blossom on the tip, and that's all they need. UG and Spyrax combine for a kill, but Shane uses that shotgun to blow the bug out of the sky.
That is a pretty big trade there. Does mean that now we can set up for this bot lane dive. Spyrax has no flash, Spyrax has no ult. He has no say in what's going to happen down there. But Evil Geniuses, they're actually just going to back off. So really, there's a
oh no, he took that tower shot. The sealed fake does get him out at least. But Faisal, huge CS advantage, and now Soul's going to have to back without TP.
That huge CS advantage is about to get even bigger here. Faisal getting the better of Soul in this top side. This is something that we praised Faisal for a lot. Being that player who on Cincinnati Fear, with low resources, managed to find a lot of success. But we're going to take another look at this replay. Spyrax is just having a little fun at this point, pretending to be UG as the real UG pops up. Good on Shaden, was in the area, able to capitalize and get a kill back, but you're still denying gold from Ryoma. The Syndra is starting to fall behind a little bit. Spyrax, you can see, he's 3-0.
The execution from Spyrax there is so good.
It's been good.
And, getting the hands on the Nico feels really nice, but also the guy has had a pretty nice come up on the side of FlyQuest. There's a reason why they've kept on to him, why they've connected him with UG so often. And hearing from him in the past, right, he's working on what he can do to affect getting out of lane. And on this Nico, he's going to be looking to affect a lot.
Yeah, last split while Winsome was playing for LCS, Spyrax talked about wanting to be that voice for the team in that mid to late game. He had some trouble. It affected his ability to play out the laning phase and just his mechanics in general, but it slowly did start to improve. And once Winsome joined, someone we know to be that big voice, Spyrax's performance shot up as a result. And now he's that player that we're seeing today on FlyQuest.
They're connecting again. There's the Pop Blossom. Masu has gone deep, though, with that lightning crash, and it didn't even matter that he had found a flank under a tower because they still come away with the kill.
Oh, this is tough. Ryoma is in the area. I kind of want to go back and see what's going on here. Spyrax, okay, he will walk away.
Tangle barbs.
Where's this Zeri, though? Oh, my God.
Masu is secret agent man right now with Winsome. It has been incredible. This last minute of gameplay, he literally went through tower to find a flank. He's gunning down Shaden, but King is coming down to lay the hammer. He goes straight in. He's all by himself, so he does take a lot. And that prowling projectile comes out, gives him the slow. Now FlyQuest making it. Oh, the big scat of the week from Ryoma. It's not going to be the 2-for-1 combo as Ryoma's not feeling that hungry, but it will just be a big pick onto Masu.
Wow, that is a very early investment into the stopwatch there for King. We usually see AD carries get it much later into the game. Evil Geniuses, though, and King himself understand. Surely, okay, he'll walk away. King bought that to get some kind of impact earlier on, and it's looking like he did that. He didn't give his life, he helped facilitate a kill, and that is hopefully enough for Evil Geniuses to get some control back onto the map. No one really going for these dragon stacks. It's just more about Shaden being able to farm, King being able to keep pace like we see him do so often in terms of CS.
The case of things here, as we did get first item spikes really coming out for everyone. Majority of everyone. Maybe missing a couple of the mid lane, but I do expect to see now a little bit of a rise in aggression from UG after he completed the Dusk Blade. You also have the Trinity Force for Masu, so that'll tick in that damage center, but you have the Storm Razor start for King.
Yeah, and remember, 2 items, especially for Zeri, is what we're waiting for here. Even though FlyQuest have been very active, UG and Spyrax linking up to make plays, that's the doomsday clock that Evil Geniuses are staring at the moment here. But right now, they're actually going to pull out
3 items is like the real turn-on moment. I think for the new meta of Felios with the Kraken Slayer Gale Force, does spike on 2 items, but I still feel like you get that big jump in potential for the Zeri on 3 items.
You do. Ooh. Right now we're seeing 50-50.
Oh, he steals it. Nicely done from Shaden. Gonna go 1-1 on the objectives.
He just doesn't miss. So they are going to slow the dragon stack of FlyQuest. There's going to be that opportunity for Masu to take that bottom tier 1 turret. Going to be able to get some gold. Wow, Faisal's dunking on Thor right now.
It's so dirty.
He's done. It's like watching. Oh, hold on.
He's a sneaky bug. Look at that. Look at that. He's just breaking ankles.
All right. Nice read from Yuji to be able to just walk away. All it cost him was his ultimate, but he secures the Gromp in the end. And man, we're just taking a look at this gold graph. FlyQuest up just about 2,000 gold. We're just shy of there, that being the peak. And it's just been their game for the most part. Everything Evil Geniuses have been able to get has just been in response. Someone happened to be in the area to be able to close things out. Besides that first dive at level 2, level 3 on the bot side, it's just been all FlyQuest who are controlling the pace.
And it's a lot different because they have that priority from Spyrex in mid lane. They've been able to move with Yuji a lot of the time. And that's something we were highlighting so heavily coming into this series, but let alone this game.
Yeah, I mean, Nico is good. I know, don't gasp. I hope you guys were sitting down, but there really isn't much to say. It's so strong here for Spyrex. It makes these objective fights so dangerous. You never know who is actually Nico. Is the Kha'Zix really Nico? Is the Ward really Nico?
I guess we're going to have to find out who the real Nico is. Please stand up as FlySol stands up to the moment. Everfrost on the way out as Ryoma goes down screaming. A double kill goes to Yuji. Masu picks another one, and Yuji finishes with a triple kill.
What a gigantic injection of gold. And we got to hype up FlySol for setting that one up. An incredible E-Flash coming through here to knock up multiple people. Wow, they do not care that Soul is here. That is disrespect.
And Soul just dies. Yep, wow. FlySol, speaking of a man, the new pickup for FlyQuest. Yep. Longtime member Philip gone. FlySol making a splash, maybe a boom coming in last split, and he has found a new home here on FlyQuest.
And in week 1, we were surprised. On paper, we said, oh, FlySol on FlyQuest, this is a tournament favorite. They are ones who can win it all. But we didn't see much of that in FlySol this first week. We didn't see the carry that got a lot of wins for Cincinnati Fear. But right in this play, Lennon, we saw that, man, and we see what FlyQuest saw in him.
You ban away my Olaf, I'll take the Gragas, and I'll split apart your team fight. And it's the thing with FlyQuest, why they were held in so much regard coming into the split is they were looking so good at the end of last split. And while they didn't come up with, the final victory, it still showed that they were growing so well together. And then it feels like they just grew even more in the offseason with FlySol as an addition because Masu has come in firing. Spyrex has had some up and down performances, but has now, when he gets these picks, found a ton of priority in lanes, enabling Yuji.
This is that FlyQuest team where they look like they could be those tournament favorites. This is the team we were thinking could challenge Team Liquid Challengers, even though last week they did end up getting 2-0'd by them. But it's double round robin. We could see that matchup come again, and what is that? How disorienting is it to have a minion walk into your jungle? Man, I don't care how good you are as a player. That's gonna have you flinch for a second, like, wait, what? And that's all it takes. Lennon, that's all it takes.
That is all it takes. Man. You see how much pressure FlyQuest have now. 5,000 gold in the lead. It hasn't even really been an objective game for them. It has just been about picking people off. Now FlySol looks to get involved a little bit more often as lanes kind of break open, and we get Masu going to mid lane and Dragon coming up in 50 seconds.
That's no Soul points. It's going to be an easy pickup here for the side of FlyQuest Challengers. Their second Drake, they're going to keep stacking them up, and it just shows the map control that they have here. They're up 5,000 gold. You can see these waves they have pushed in to their tier 2 turrets. Now, oh my God, Fire
the Flash Pop Blossom, and Yuji goes on a rampage.
Yeah, and that's it. Ryoma off the map, no opportunity to flash because of the knock-up they added to Pop Blossom. Means this tier 2 turret almost certainly going down. Yeah. Now they're going to leave it.
If we had an anger translator for Ryoma, it's why are you invisible when you start casting your ulti? That's what he's saying right now. As just not able to see it.
Yeah, and it's the worst that you at least had a moment before when the ult is about to go off that you could flash it or something. But now, because it knocks you up before the pop, sucks to suck. Skill issue. Sorry, buddy.
Skill issue. Get good.
Yeah, get good.
That's what FlyQuest are saying right now as they continue to ramp up this gold lead. This will be a second dragon for them. As you said, easy objective secures.
Yeah.
And we already have 2 items coming up for a majority of them. You get the Runans for Masu. You already got the Shadow Flame there for Spyrax, but more importantly, that combo now coming through for Yuji as well. And Faisal, they are looking to keep going with these fights.
Yeah, oh man, we've had, I should say, the objective bounties up for a bit of time for Evil Genius Challengers as well. The pity prizes, as people like to call them. Any opportunity for them to get some of this extra gold. But the opportunities are all FlyQuest, baby. You see the pings onto the Baron. They're thinking about it. They're setting it up. And with all this power, all this itemizations that they have in their pockets, I just stare right at this point.
A decent amount trading back from King, who has completed his second item with the Gale Force. And that does become a point of power for the Aphelios now. See if they can play around it, although Smoothie has already lost half his health. And FlyQuest are just playing with their food at this point because they're just forcing a fight in the enemy topside jungle behind the Baron pit.
No, I like this call. They've made sure to clear vision on the Baron. They're forcing EG, who we talked about having a squishy comp, to face check. So they would much rather take the more guaranteed success of a fight, because walking into Kha'Zix and Nico, I mean, that's terrible.
Oh, Smoothie.
Case in point.
That's just a solo bolo? You got a little bit of follow-up from Yuji. Yuji! We were talking about him earlier, and he has been on fire now, as well as Masu. They both pick up a kill. We're getting a picture-in-picture of what this bottom lane has going on.
Like
as Soul's in a bit of trouble. Gonna use that sealed bait. Whoa. A little bit close. A little bit close.
I mean, it is pretty crazy that Soul is down a level, down basically an item, and is still able to do that. Cool chat. Oh, Faisal, he's having some fun.
Oh, wait, nice little knock-up. Having some fun in the graveyard. Fate sealed. It was already used. You get the damage.
Faisal, you don't see me. I'm pressing on your. I'm trying to ping your flash, bro. What was that? It was it. Whatever, man. FlyQuest get the Baron.
Oh, we're talking about skill issues.
Okay, that's crazy. I need to ask him about that. I really hope he's the interview.
Oh, that's a cleanse out from Mazu as well, as a nice little push from Ryoma. And there is still the fact, right? There is a giant lead for FlyQuest. If you start getting picked out, though, and this composition gets time to scale, they will be extremely scary. And I was looking for Shane to be proactive earlier on, be that centerpiece while everyone else is trying to scale, but they didn't really find that. But if you scale nonetheless, it doesn't matter.
Right, and we will say, Evil Geniuses, Shaden has that second item. The Collector is in his inventory. He is kind of strong. If he gets on top of Masu, remember, who has no flash, he will be able to do some serious damage. The problem is, and always will be in this game, Spyrax on the Nico. Approaching him is, God, beyond dangerous, terrifying. You don't know who he is. You don't know where he is. Is it the minion? Is it the ward? Is it the red buff walking through the mid lane? I don't know, Lennon. But I hate it.
You never know. That's the problem. That is the problem. It is an interesting position to be in. We've seen so many clips from around the world now of Nico just be in abusive positions as well. A second tier tower goes down, as that's kind of important here because you still have another minute and a half on the Baron buff. It's so much sieging to be had by FlyQuest.
And the mid tier 2 is under threat with another wave coming, but I like the move from Faisal, kind of going in and out of fog, saying, hey, you don't know if the rest of the team is going to show up any second.
Where am I going to go?
Exactly. And real quick, too, I want to praise the vision control that FlyQuest have had. There's very little vision on the bot side jungle of EG that's actually theirs.
Oh my goodness, he just almost goes down. They'd have to burn that Moonlight Vigil from the Severum to get the healing back to even stay alive. Yeah. Now the tower on... That's 4 towers that just went down in a succession. FlyQuest have just exploded this gold lead. Their team beat back. They want to finish the game. They got 50 seconds still in the Baron buff.
Wait, that's confidence. Respect.
Oh, there goes Pirates! Oh my God! FlyQuest are him! Timothy! They! FlyQuest Challengers destroy EG! And that'll be 2 2-0s in a row! They gotta get back on track to finish out next week because FlyQuest have risen to the occasion! And what a way to do it!
And this is that confidence we wanted to see from a potential title contender. finally FlyQuest have joined the party.
They just absolutely beautifully played this series as a whole. 2 games back to back. And it was just the fact that you had the niche of both junglers wanting to go head-to-head, aggressive matchups in both games. Yuji took the Bugman from Shaden on the blue side.
Can I just
showed
say,
him what's what.
I think everyone in chat, keep an eye on Twitter, on the Path to LCS Twitter account, because that play from Spyrax is likely going to be in the running for Play of the Week. That's my vote.
It was pretty incredible. We are going to sit into a little break, though, while we do get ready for the interview with Out Battery. So we'll see you on the other side.
And I am back with the victorious jungler here of FlyQuest Challengers. Yuji, my man, you got the 2-0, so you got to at least hopefully be feeling a little bit good about that performance. I wanted to ask a little bit about Game 1. You're on that Kindred versus the Kazakhs. What's your interpretation of the matchup, man? Because we've been seeing it all over the place. I think it's been going both ways across the world, and even talking a little bit more about that draft you guys had.
I think for Kindred, I think if you play Kazakhs against Kindred, if you don't do anything, I think Kindred just becomes like too OP at like after Triforce. I think that champ is like not balanced because you buy like so much HP and they can't like one-shot you, so it's kind of OP.
We got to see it actually in the qualifiers yesterday. City Witty, another jungler here in North America, he dropped so many kills. He had so much HP because you could also build a Black Cleaver afterwards. It was really nuts. That champion is feeling a little OP, like you're saying. Talking about your opponents here, we're finally now seeing the original roster that was intended at the beginning of the year for Evil Genius's Challengers. How's the team feeling about, what that roster is looking like now here in Challengers League?
Well, I think I expected them to be like better, but I guess they just like got their roster just now, so I guess they're just like scaling for playoffs.
Okay. Is there anybody in particular you're looking at to really kind of be a standout for them?
Not really.
Respect. All right, Get at them. That's what I like to hear. We've seen you come into FlyQuest all those splits ago as a really strong individual player, and you've grown more as a the early driver for this team. This year, we're looking at you in the summer split now. What are your expectations for yourself now that you've been here in the Challenger system?
Well, I think I want to be the best jungler in NACL, but I also do want to win this split, so I think that's my expectation at least.
Okay, all right. So you're looking forward to not only be the best jungler, but maybe make up for some of the playoff woes from last split?
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of that, how was your off season? I know that some of the players were having some pretty turbulent ones. How did it go for you personally?
Well, I think before the NACL news happened, we were in Korea. I was with Mesu, so we were just like boot camping, and we were kind of scared for a bit that NACL might be like cancelled. So it was kind of scary, but it was fun.
Okay, well, I guess we could talk a little bit about Korea. How was that? We've talked to Masu about it before, but your time in Korea, like the solo queue, how was the food over there?
The food was very good, and obviously I was just like playing League like all day, so yeah.
Was it just you two, or did you have like some of your coaches or staff from FlyQuest come with you?
It was just you, Mesu and me, just two of us.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah. You guys were just hanging out. That's got to be a lot of fun. Okay, cool. Speaking on that, we talked to Winsome the other day about how, this is a bit of a longer season. You have some more games, this double round robin. What are your opinions on the standings for this team? Because coming in, we thought, hey, the FlyQuest has not looked the sturdiest at the start of the split.
Well, to be honest, I think I expected TL to be first, but I guess they're first now. And I expected DSG and us to be, I guess, second and third, but I guess we are just like scaling up.
All right. Is there anything that you guys want to attribute that to? Maybe a slower start? Is there stuff that's inside the team that's maybe you're still working through?
We probably need to work way harder, and we probably don't need to like go easy on the enemy and not drop games. Because I kind of let it down yesterday. I went like 1-9 or something. Yeah. So.
We were talking about it behind the scenes. We saw your tweet. We were like, okay, I think Yuji knows that that first game was probably not the best, not the one that he was intending. Looking at the standings as a whole, you guys are going to be moving up. You got that 2-0 over Evil Geniuses just now. Is there anybody that you're really afraid of other than maybe Team Liquid?
not really. I think all the teams are beatable, so I'm not really scared of any team.
Okay, all right. I mean, I'm sure maybe some of our analysts would disagree, but you're the player here. You're going to be the one that's just like, hey, I'm going to shut up the broadcast. You guys don't know what you're talking about. Wow, that's impressive. Insane stuff from you. I mean, Yuji, if there's any final shout-outs you want to be able to give, anybody you want to talk to personally, this is your time. I'll give you the floor.
Yeah, shout out to the managers and the players and the coaches, and thank you to all the people who are watching.
Okay, awesome. Hopefully we can see you be able to elevate that performance as the weeks go on, but we're going to take a short break here, and when we come back, we'll be getting right into our second series, Supernova versus Fear.